Yay!
Hey everyone.
Happy
Hello.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday to everyone. Welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We've already got a few people dropping in comments. Um, Hello, Kobe. Thank you so much for your interest in Attractions Magazine. If you go to attractionsmagazine.com, you can purchase back issues. You can also, if physical back copies are not available, you can also download digital copies. And there's also plenty of free articles available on our website, attractionsmagazine.com. Thank you so much for asking. Welcome back to Derek's Corner. Hello, Blossom. Hello, Terry. Vince. Hey,
Oh,
Vince. Yes, Vince is an art friend of mine. He's done some great projects with my wife here in Orlando over the years. Uh, and excellent. He is working on a blog post about the Saturn Awards. Good to hear from you, Vince.
good. A lot
Um,
of people work on the weekend.
wow, we got a ton of people. Mary Ann, help you. Mary, let us know what you need help with. Um, and Kobe, I am broadcasting from Orlando, Florida.
Yes, I am in Nashville, Tennessee right now.
Yep. Brian, welcome back. Yes, it was a long week, but you are getting a Killer Clowns from Outer Space game in 2023, so that makes up for the pain. Yeah, when are we going to get a sequel to that movie?
Oh, that's my favorite movie of all time. So my excitement for Hollywood is through the roof.
And Michael's mom, Cindy, came on just to let us know that he is at Disney Springs right now, so he's not tuning in. So we're thinking of you, Michael. Yeah, I'm sure you'll watch the rebroadcast.
Hopefully, he's not trying to surf in the water fountain.
No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. And Weiser got to see Kinky Boots.
Oh,
I
great
assume you
show.
mean the musical. Or the film. It's a great
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
But the musical is also great. And Vince, I apologize. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm mixing you up with a friend with a similar name. Sorry about that. Well, we got a lot of people logging in. We've got over 30 already. So I think thank you so much, everyone who's joining and dropping comments. But it is time to kick off this week's show in 3, 2, 1.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 154 of the Attractions Podcast. I'm Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are back again to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what is going on in our own lives. And normally I ask how you've been this week. We had a shared experience this week that we need to spend a little time talking about here right at the top of the show.
Yes, we went to Victoria and Albert's at
Now-
Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa that recently reopened. It is the insane, many course 4-hour dining experience.
Now,
Experience because it is a lot more.
Disclaimer right off the top. This is not something. I am not a baller. I am not
You are a baller.
able to pay for something like this myself. Carly was invited. We talked about this last week, and when her date was unable to make it at the last minute, she was so kind to let me step in. Gave me an excuse to wear my Mickey Mouse tie
Yes.
with my suit, and I am so thankful that you invited me. But experience with a capital EX. This was proof that you can have too much of a very good thing.
Right.
And I will say
4
right off the top,
hours, we have to say.
oh my God, over four.
And we had them packed
we had-
in courses.
And we had cocktails beforehand. That is not necessary, folks. But yeah, started out at the Enchanted Rose with some lovely cocktails, and then led into the Victoria and Albert's dining room, which has been refreshed. It's still just as gorgeous and elegant, but I thought it was a little less stuffy. It felt a little lighter, a little warmer. And before we even talk about the food, I've got to give props to the entertainment. There is a harp player there she is phenomenal. She has an incredible repertoire. I expected to hear Disney music. I did not expect her to be able to play Pink Floyd.
Right.
So thank you so much. I'm sorry I missed her name in the blur, but she is a treasure.
Exactly. She played in sync. I mean, she really had a depth of a catalog, and it was you don't really want to hear Disney music when you're in this beautiful setting that makes you forget that you are on Disney property. She was fantastic. Everyone that worked there was fantastic. I think that was my favorite part. Yeah.
Bravo to the whole staff.
They were incredible. What was your favorite thing that you ate?
Well, you are more of a foodie than I am. I know you get to have brunch with Martha Stewart in Vegas and stuff. I had to bring home the menu. They give you a customized menu just in order to remember what I ate, because honestly, the whole thing was a blur. And there were a lot of amazing things, but I would say, I mean, it's hard to compare anything to the Miyazaki A5 Wagyu beef, which was kind of like the grand finale of the entrees, and it was the biggest piece of A5 I've ever seen. Like when I've been to Vegas, you get a little slice like the size of a postage stamp. This was like a deck of playing cards almost, and I it was the kind of thing where you cannot leave something like that on your plate to go in the garbage, because it costs more than people make in a week. But at the same time, I was hurting by the time I made it through that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there were so many courses. I think we did 19 maybe. And then some courses had multiple things in them. But I would say that was definitely my favorite. It was the best I've ever had. And if you go to like Morimoto Asia, Disney Springs, I think it's $35 an ounce. And that piece that we got was at least 2 ounces.
Yeah.
So there's some value there.
Yes. I mean, the elephant in the room is, as a journalist, you got invited to do this. This is not something that I could personally do, maybe once every 10 years, if I saved up my pennies. I believe that we had the chef's tasting menu plus the optional wine pairing, which according to the printed menu comes out to $575 a person. And I don't know, that amazing caviar we had might have even been an extra too. And then you think about adding tax and tip, you're talking basically the cost of an annual pass to the parks.
Right.
For one meal. That's for one meal for one person. I mean, if we're going to talk about value, everything is absolutely exquisite, and you can't ask for better quality.
Right. It's not, you're not going to dinner. You're going to an experience.
No.
The staff is not what you would expect from a Michelin style restaurant. I'm sure they're going to get a star now that they're open. They just missed when the Michelin crew came through.
They're getting it next time.
A star. The staff almost treat you like your family, and they definitely read the vibe. They were like experts in reading the vibe. Like, we like to socialize. And they were really good at, chatting with us. And
it's real. You kind of really put your finger on it, because I remember back in the day, I first started going there in the early 90s. And it was very formal, and everyone was called Victoria or Albert, and you felt like you were dining with the Queen. Like, you don't want to put your elbows on the table. But now it is still very elegant. It is still upscale and extremely professional, but they're also personable. And you find out, you have a rapport with your waiter.
Right.
They're interacting with you. And we learned all sorts of new things. If you like water, this is the place to go, because I learned things about this different salinities and densities of water and different kinds of still and sparkling. It was an education in food for sure.
Right. That was one of my favorite parts. We did like a little bit of a water pairing, and the one at the end that had the highest concentration, it had a bite to it. If you didn't know water could have a bite, it can have a bite, but it was really cool to learn that just like wine, you start lighter body to full body as you go through your course of the meal. The same says for water.
It was a little like Alka-Seltzer, to be honest. It was intense.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole experience was amazing, and if you I don't know that there are other great restaurants in Orlando where you can have an incredible experience. I
Right.
don't know that there's anything that's quite that over the top. And if you want a once in a lifetime meal, uh, that you can't go wrong. But I have to be brutally honest. My body was hurting for days afterwards. If you are built like me, if you are not someone used to eating huge meals, you got to pace yourself.
Right.
And if split the wine pairing with someone else, you don't need a full glass of wine with every single course when there's like 12 courses. You could split the wine pairing with 3 people and still be
Right.
okay.
Right, and just do little sips. It
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
lot,
Pace
and
yourself.
we didn't even
Ugh.
finish our full courses because
No.
by the 4-hour point, we were so
We had to
full.
take little boxes of dessert back home, and my wife was very, very grateful.
Oh, I'm glad she got to try it. It's fun. It's an experience. I would say do the most basic form of the menu. So there's different levels where you could add
Yeah.
on different courses. I don't think you necessarily need to keep adding on because it is so much food and it's rich food.
Yeah.
So you will get a stomach ache.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's an understatement. Um, well, okay. Without any further ado, since I think we have made everyone in the chat drop silent with jealousy,
Sorry.
we are going to kick it off with the news in the queue. Let's start it off with a new look inside construction of Journey of Water, inspired by Moana. We've got some more details released, along with pictures of the rock work for the attraction, which is coming to Epcot, finally, slowly taking shape.
Hello, yes. This is exciting. It's obviously based on the Walt Disney Pictures movie, and so it's going to take you on a kind of a journey of water as it goes through the different cycles from the sky to the earth and back again, and it's going to have nods to the movie's main character, Moana.
Mhm. Yes, you are going to see her carved into the rock work. We've got some pictures of foam work being sculpted backstage. We've also got a first look at the entrance of the attraction, which is kind of a stone monolith with Moana's signature spiral carved into it. And they talk a little about the models, the mock-ups, the maquettes, the whole process of putting this whole thing together, and a glimpse of some of the rock work being done on site. Now, one thing we did not get is an opening date.
Nope.
Or an opening month, or an opening
Maybe we'll
year.
get it, at D23.
Yes, that is a definite possibility. We'll definitely be chatting about the possibility of that a little later in the podcast. But for now, this is just another glimpse that shows us mostly that it's still got a long way to go. You're not going to be frolicking in the water with Moana this year, or I'd say early next year even. It's still got a work in progress for sure.
Yes.
But we will be sure to share more progress as it happens. Next up, Disney Parks Make It Blue to celebrate Disney Plus Day, which is coming to their resorts around the world on September 8th,
Yes.
celebrating their streaming network at Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disneyland Paris for the first time, and more.
Yeah, this is really fun. I went to it last year at Disneyland, and I loved being able to get the pin. I missed the hat, so I was a little sad. But they really do a nice job, and this year it seems like they're even adding more into the festivities.
Yeah, I personally am going to be checking it out on behalf of attractions at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Both Disney's Hollywood Studios and Disneyland are going to be opening their gates an extra 30 minutes early for subscribers who also have a ticket to the parks. It doesn't mean you get free admission to the park just for having Disney Plus. Sorry. And that means that the hotel guests who normally get 30 minutes early entry are getting 60 minutes early entry. So thoughts and prayers to all of the cast members who are going to be getting up extra early that day. But yeah, in addition to getting in early, they've done giveaways. They've got photo pass. They've got special characters. Last time I got to see a little cavalcade. To be honest, a lot of people said they did more for Disney Plus Day than they did for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah. There's even going to be some My Disney Experience app photo pass lenses, like augmented reality to add digital characters. So yeah, that's happening at Disney World. And like you said, you got to check out Disneyland.
Yes, it was definitely, I don't remember being as elaborate as this. They're going to be having some festive food and beverage, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember there being a food and beverage component last year, at least at the Disneyland Resort. So I'm excited to see, because their culinary team always comes up with really good limited time and seasonal treats.
Well,
so I'm excited.
You're going to have to try some blue churros, which are only going to be available on Buena Vista Street and Grizzly Peak. And also near Sleeping Beauty Castle and in Tomorrowland. Or you can head over to downtown Disney and try one of their blue cocktails.
Ooh, that makes me nervous, because I think blue carousel. I'm not sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
For someone, definitely, if you want a sweet treat. And then this year, for the first time, like you said, Disneyland Paris is getting in on the celebration. They're going to have specialty entertainment, photo opportunities, and this really unique looking blue themed chocolate hazelnut donut.
Yeah, that looks yummy.
It looks really good. I just had the Mickey shaped hazelnut stuffed donut when I was there in July, and it was delicious. We split it for breakfast. So this kind of looks like an incarnation of that, but with some fun stuff on top.
Yeah, they're going to do the 30 minutes early too. And Hong Kong Disneyland, just in case you happen to be out there, they are going to do special gifts and on September 10th, and also during the Disney Vacation Club member cruise aboard the Disney Wonder between the 29th and the 5th, there's going to be special gifts and shows on board.
This is definitely a lot more. I mean, I was at Magic Kingdom on October 3rd.
Well, as Bob Chapek said, they are activating synergies across their something or other. I don't even know what that word salad meant, but apparently that's what that word salad meant.
Right.
Lots and lots of stuff. And of course, we should talk about why we're doing all this, which is Disney Plus, which they did not mention in this press release is raising their prices very soon. But we can talk about that another day. They are going to have a bunch of new content starting this day. And that includes new episodes of She-Hulk, which I'm excited for, having quickly devoured the ones that are out already, as well as Thor, Love and Thunder, which I did not see in the theaters. So I'm excited to see the IMAX enhanced version at home.
Oh, yes. And then there's Marvel Studios Assembled, the making of Thor, Love and Thunder. So that's interesting. I love when they do those behind the scenes looks and see some footage that we wouldn't have the opportunity to.
Yes, all of those Marvel Assembled documentaries have been really well done. And also the Star Wars documentaries, they've got a new one coming out for Obi-Wan. And I'm really excited to see the behind the scenes stuff between him and Hayden.
Yes, and then there's going to be Frozen and Frozen 2 sing-alongs, which I know you're going to be doing, right?
Oh, yes, I will be have that on a constant loop in the house. My cats will be singing along for sure. You know, we joke, but the one here that looks most interesting to me is Remembering. It's a short film by an Emmy-winning director. It stars Brie Larson. And it's an augmented reality. It's a film. Like, you can use the app to trigger things in your house while you are watching the film. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but it's a really interesting idea. So I'm going to check that one out.
Right. There's more. They're Welcome
to
the
my gosh.
Club, which is the short from The Simpsons. I'm becoming a princess, Lisa Simpson. That's going to be cool. There's Dancing with the Stars, the pros' most memorable dances. So if you are a longtime fan, I'm sure you will love to check that out.
Yeah, and in addition to all the stuff on the screen, if you want to see some Disney Plus content on the big screen, it starting the 8th through the 19th of September, you can go to the AMC theaters and see movies like Rogue One or Cars up on the big screen. I think Newsies would be a good one to see with an
Oh, I would
audience.
love Newsies. And you
Yeah.
don't have to be a Disney Plus subscriber to take part in the AMC theater stuff. So that could be a fun thing.
No, and they're even going to have free posters and special concessions. So a lot of stuff going on to celebrate your membership in Disney Plus, which, as I mentioned, is going to get more expensive.
Yes.
Okay. So next, we're moving from Disney over to Universal, and they have had some massive delivery of roller coaster track for Epic Universe, and we have some fantastic aerial photography from BioReconstruct on Twitter that shows off just how far along this project is coming.
Right. This is really exciting. And again, this isn't announced by Universal. This is all on very informative speculations. So
Yeah.
these are not rumors. These are what it appears to be a
Yeah.
large dueling racer coaster.
Now, this article, which is on our website, was written by Theron White, and as you say, it is very journalistically responsible.
Mhm.
I'm going to be slightly irresponsible and give you a little bit more speculation of what some of the stuff that we're looking at might be. So the big deal is that we've got coaster track for what looks like it's going to be the longest, the biggest roller coaster in the park. And it's not going to be inside any of the themed lands. It's part of the hub. Now, the rumor is that it is the hub has a celestial or a galaxy theme, and that the roller coaster will be a dueling roller coaster with an out of space theme. It'll be outside. It's not going to be an indoor coaster like a Space Mountain, but it will have a space theme to it.
Very cool. Yeah. So this is going to be free from IP. At least
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're speculating. And it'll be an original story, which
Mm-hmm.
is exciting. And I think they said it's looking like it's taking shape between Wizarding World and then How to Train.
Yeah, exactly. The footers that we've got pictures of are where you'll basically have the load station for this, are located in between the entrance to the How to Train Your Dragon area and the Wizarding World area. So it's kind of unique that sort of like, I guess, in Shanghai, there are some attractions in the castle hub that aren't part of any of the lands. A similar sort of thing. We've also got some pictures of how there will be what we think is going to be a carousel in the central hub, along with some water fountains. It looks like for maybe a World of Color style fountain show.
Very exciting, regardless.
There's a lot of detail in this, a lot of really cool pictures. We've also got a look at the Wizarding World where the Ministry of Magic is coming to shape. This is going to be that kind of round atrium inside the Ministry of Magic. And
those are little people in the circles, which
yes, that's a
think is
human being. So these are huge buildings. These each of these show buildings are, the size of like a Forbidden Journey. They're just absolutely massive. And we've got look at where a restaurant is going to be, we think, kind of matching up concept art, as well as a kind of a whole aerial map laying out the whole park. We've got classic monsters. We've got the hotel that's going to be built into the back of the park, the Wizarding World, How to Train Your Dragon, and right up front to your left as you enter will be Super Nintendo, which is really coming along very quickly. We've even got a look at the track for Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, this is exciting, and it's funny. We talked earlier in the show about Moana and how slow that's taking. This is like full steam ahead. They are rocking.
Oh, it is absolutely incredible. The scope, the scale, and the speed at which all of this is going up. And we have to give a big hand, as always, to BioReconstruct on Twitter, the anonymous person who regularly flies over the parks and dangles out of a helicopter to get these absolutely incredible shots. I did one helicopter flyover with the attractions team when the parks first closed, and it was exhilarating and terrifying.
Very.
And I could do that maybe once every couple of years.
Mhm.
And Bio goes up and does this all the time. And he does this for the love of it. I gotta say, with my newspaper, once wanted to hire them, to pay them for their pictures, because he's just giving this stuff away on free on Twitter, and refused, because didn't want anyone to know where to send the paycheck to. Wanted to remain that anonymous. Didn't want anyone to know what name to put on the check or where to send it. So bravo. You're probably right above my house right now. I don't know, looking down. But bravo, Bio, for all the good work that you do.
Yes. I mean, it just gets fans excited. I know a lot of people, are super anticipating this park. I'm one of them. So
yeah. It's a big deal for the guests and the fans. It's also a big deal for Orlando's economy. We're talking, not counting the construction work, but even after it's done, like 14,000 jobs, affordable housing that they're building on the property to, help house some of those employees, new transportation, new roads. It's a massive thing for Central Florida in general. So we're very excited to keep track of it for you, and hopefully by early 2025 we'll be inside the park and telling you all about it. Okay. All right. If you want something at Universal that's coming a lot quicker than 2025, Halloween Horror Nights is right around the corner, and the food menu is almost as gruesome as the haunted houses. We've got a look at the booths that have popped up around the park, and they look more disgustingly delicious than ever.
Yes, I spent after Victoria and Albert's the next day. I couldn't eat, but I did spend the next day walking around Universal, seeing all the booths pop up.
How did you do that? Like, how did you? Well, I don't know how you walked around in the heat, but then how'd you look at menus with things like brains and guts on them?
But it is exciting. Just Universal has been killing it between Mardi Gras and this, with just really wildly inventive creations that tie into the theming. There's, of course, the Twisted Taters, which everyone loves.
Cult favorite. Absolutely.
Yes, the ghost pepper seasoning sounds delicious, and that's the one that I'm going to try. And then I went over to the Chucky booth, and they're having Wanna Play beignets.
They've also got a burger that looks really disgusting, but also kind of cute. It's got like, I don't know, cereal on top, and a vegan chili. I'm very proud that even though Chucky murders people, he appreciates a plant-based diet.
Right. They've been doing a great job with that. Some of my favorite items at Mardi Gras this year were vegan. And so I know a lot of that opens it up to so many more people to get to experience the maggot-covered cheese dog.
Yeah, I don't know if maggots are vegan.
At Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, they do some really cool Korean style corn dogs. So I'm excited that that's going to be in Orlando now.
Yeah, don't get too scared, folks. Those maggots are actually puffed rice and gochujang and black sesame seeds.
Oh, yes. That should be delicious. One of my favorites. And then, of course, what everyone has been talking about is the meats.
Meats. If you remember, this is going back to a kind of comedy house that they did years ago that featured Mike Aiello playing the role of a sadistic butcher who had turned to cannibalism. And so you are going to be able to buy fried zombie brains, which are really cauliflower, or angry bear meat, if you're into the Halloween Horror Nights bear. He's a little cult character. And that's actually flaming hot Cheetos and a marshmallow treat. And there's also fried chicken and a sweet raspberry Rice Krispie.
Yes, the
The
packaging is wildly amazing.
the
So
really cool thing about these, yeah, is that they're packaged like butcher meat in a supermarket case. And even better, they're setting this up in Sting Alley, which is in the New York area,
mhm.
and it's going to almost be like a little walkthrough, like a micro haunted house. That's always been one of the best decorated areas of the park, and mixing that up with a food experience is just brilliant.
Yes, and then there's going to be spicy pumpkin buns, which I think also has ground turkey in them. We saw pizza fries are back at Kid Zone, and they're also doing vegan pizza fries. So that's another vegan option.
Yes. Yeah,
Exciting.
I hear that is gonna be over, in the Kid Zone
Yep.
area, the vegan pizza fries. And, in Gramercy Park, they have Lil Boo's pumpkin bun. Everyone loves Lil Boo,
Yes.
the kind of the breakout star of the event after last year, and, about time that, they got their own treat.
Right. I mean, of course, I'm excited to see what we're going to have in the tribute store. There was this fantastic
Mhm.
vegan skull brownie last year, and it was the most moist brownie I have ever had, and it was vegan. I was like, how is this possible? So I hope something like that returns.
Yes, I've heard that the tribute store always ends in a sweet shop, and that is going to be tied in thematically to the sweets that are outside in the street area
Mhm.
as part of the scare zone theming. So that's kind of a first for them to have a scare zone tied directly to the treats, and I'm definitely looking forward to
Yes.
some version of those vegan brownies coming back. All right, so universalorlando.com is the place to get your tickets. And I have heard that some nights have already sold out. So
Yes.
might want to plan that quick. If you want a different kind of Halloween experience in the Orlando area, there are a couple of drive-throughs coming back. First one is the Haunted Road. And that drive-through experience is now going to end in a slaughterhouse walkthrough.
Right. This is really cool. So you're going to be going through a 25-minute drive.
Hmm.
Then it's going to end at an afterlife party, and you will try to survive a human slaughterhouse.
Yay! Well, okay. A little confession or a warning. So Haunted Road has been around since the beginning of the pandemic. I think this might be I guess their third time
They're,
around
yeah.
now.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they had some real growing pains. There were a bunch of issues. If you Google them, you can read all about it.
Right.
Um, I'm hoping third time's the charm, and it sounds like they've got some new ideas. They are located along Lake Pickett Road in Orlando, and that's the same area as the Corn Maze and the Painted Oaks Academy. This time they've added a haunted DJ. They've got a haunted market and pop-up performances. There's food trucks. It also looks like they might have adjusted their pricing. In the past, they got a lot of slack for charging pretty high price per
Right.
person and not per car. This year, it looks like the tickets are starting at $19.99 per person, which doesn't sound unreasonable. So,
No.
not sure what those go up to, but they say that there's a VIP ghost tour, which involves a real life ghost hunting equipment, and that starts at an extra 26.
Yeah. More affordably priced. I mean, that's kind of on par if you're going to a haunted
Hmm.
house in Old Town,
Sure.
not bad.
Sure. So the tickets are going on sale 10 a.m. on September 21st. The event is running from the 21st through November 6th. Um, I'm thinking that one of those dates might be wrong because it seems odd that they are starting ticket sales on the same day that they start the event. But I think if you hop over to thehauntedroad.com, hopefully all your questions will be answered. Another drive-through experience that I personally can wholeheartedly recommend, because from personal experience, is Scream and Stream, the drive-through haunted house attraction that has gotten a brand new location for 2022, moving from Oviedo, which is kind of far out there, to the Florida Mall, which is a
Much
lot
easier.
closer
Yes.
to Universal Orlando and the other attractions.
Yeah, this looks really cool. I haven't done it, so this is one that I think is going to be on my list to try, maybe in September, October.
Yeah, this is one that partnered with Patrick Braillard from formerly of Halloween Horror Nights for its first year. I don't know that he's back this time, but they still have a great team behind the scenes. And this time they have added a new experience. Now it's going to start out with the lobby.
Ooh.
When you check in, you are going to get to have a shopping experience, have some selfie photo ops, and also have the opportunity to have your fortune told, or try a blackout experience where you're blindfolded in total darkness. I'm going to nope out of that one.
Yes, and then after you check in, you'll go to your car and you're going to enter a designated area that is themed like a theme park dark ride. Love
Yeah,
it.
it was that is exactly how I would describe it. It's a dark ride where you control the car.
Right.
And yes, that you are driving your own car, but there are stoplights to keep all the cars separated to make it perfectly safe. It was freaky. They get right up in your business. I would recommend keeping those windows rolled up.
Yeah, I know.
But
I hate driving, so I can't wrap my head around going through one
but
of
it
these.
was really well controlled. You knew exactly where to drive to, exactly where to stop, exactly when to go. So I didn't feel unsafe, like someone was going to drive into the back of my car or anything
Right.
like that. But the whole experience takes like 15 to 20 minutes, and it's charged by the car. So you can load up to 8 people into your vehicle for a $74 ticket.
That is not bad.
Yeah.
Bring some friends, split it. Can't
Yeah.
beat that.
I really enjoyed this one, and I'm looking forward to going back. Screamandstream.com is the place to get the information. And if you are in the Hersheypark area in Pennsylvania, Dark Nights, their immersive haunt is ramping up this year from September 17th through October 30th.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Hersheypark will always have a special place. So the fact that they're finally doing their own haunt event is very exciting. Not sure if I'll get it this year, but I'm sure this is going to be a wild success and continue on. There's going to be 4 haunted houses with original stories, and then also I think 3 scare zones.
Yep.
And so they've released details, kind of just wrapping up what each of the themes and the storylines will be, and it seems on par with some of our favorite haunt events.
Yeah. They're starting small. They've done seasonal nighttime events that usually just involve look trick or treating, looking at lights and
Right.
stuff. But this is their first time going scary. So the 3 scare zones are the Midway of Misery, Darkstone's Hollow, and Valley of Fear. And the
Yes.
haunted houses, which I think we chatted about in a previous episode, are the Haunted Coal Mine, the Descent, Creature Chaos, and Twisted Darkness. And but the thing that caught my eye on the agenda was that they are doing their Creatures of the Night flashlight tour. And that is inside Zoo America, which is their wildlife park. It's kind of unique that Hersheypark has a great zoo directly attached to it and part of its ticket. And it looks like you are going to be able to see those animals after dark with just a flashlight, which I think would be a really neat experience, kind of scary and educational at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. And then we haven't heard yet, but apparently they are going to be having a food and beverage component, as they usually do. Hersheypark is great at that. So I am excited to see what themed treats they're going to have.
Yes. Well, I'm sure they will have chocolate, and maybe some chocolate.
Yeah.
Now, so the way that this is working is a little different. The tickets for the Dark Night component which is specifically the haunted houses, is a separate admission. But with your regular Hersheypark admission, you can enjoy the scare zones, the atmosphere, and buy treats and stuff like that. So go to Hersheypark.com and check out your ticket options and the schedule. If you want a slightly less scary Halloween experience, Halloween weekends are taking over Busch Gardens Williamsburg during the Counts Spooktacular. 6 weekends of kid-friendly fun are coming to the Williamsburg Park every Saturday and Sunday, and that is running from September 24th through October 30th.
Yes, and children, of course, are encouraged to come dressed up, but what I kind of thought was really neat is each weekend has its own self-contained theme. That
Yes,
is
so
really interesting.
if you have a favorite Sesame Street character, each one is kind of getting their own weekend in the spotlight. It starts out
Yeah.
with the Count on the weekend of the 24th, 25th. Then Elmo and Zoe, clowning
Cookie
around with
Monster.
Cookie Monster and Grover. Yay.
Yes. A
Um,
pirate party with Bert and Ernie. I mean, this is really well done. They could have easily just paired it all together, but that they have their own time to shine, and especially for annual pass holders that want to take their kids every weekend. This is
I gotta
cool.
say, if I was gonna go to one, it would be the Pirate Party,
Yes.
October 15th and 16th, because I believe that Bert and Ernie are big fans of Our Flag Means Death. I
Yeah.
totally buy that. And then there's a magical weekend with Wizard Elmo and Night Cookie Monster, October 23rd, all leading up to the Halloween celebration, which runs from the 20th all the way through the 30th, with all of your Sesame Street pals, a kid-friendly parade, dance parties in the evening, and even a hay maze. So go and get lost in that.
Yes, this is really cool. Then, of course, Hollow Scream is going to be returning on select nights, so they're doing a lot.
Yep. buschgardens.com/Williamsburg is the place to go for all your information. And finally, we're going to wrap up the news in the queue with some good news. If you were curious about visiting Nickelodeon Universe at the American, the American Dream Mall in New Jersey, because they have gone from requiring you to buy an all-day pass to letting you buy just points and pay per ride.
Yes, it is a bizarre place if you've been to the American Dream Mall. I went over the holidays when visiting my family. I did not go into Nickelodeon Universe because, like you said, you had to pay. It was kind of an astonishing amount for a very limited amount of rides to do.
Could you
And
even see inside to see
yes,
what there was? Okay, so you can
but
peek, but you really can't do
right.
anything at all.
And if
Yeah.
you've been following along, a lot of times not all the rides are in operation. So for that cost, this was I'm like, I'm not spending that to go in there on a few things. To do the points pass is a major upgrade.
Yeah. So you can still buy their all-day passes or even their season passes if you
Mhm.
I don't know, live in the neighborhood. I believe the all-day pass goes for about $60, which is a substantial amount for a theme park inside a mall.
Right.
But now you can just buy on points. They have it looks like the kiddie rides are mostly 3-point rides. And then the bigger, thrill rides, roller coasters are 6-point rides. The interesting thing is that even their website does not totally make clear exactly how much a point costs. Perhaps that can vary depending on the season. But if you buy it online, you can save 5% by booking in advance. So that's something to keep in mind.
Definitely. I will say the next time I go home, I would like to go just to walk around now because before spectators, you couldn't even get in. It operated as
Yeah.
a gate.
So I mean, that's the thing. I can't imagine that they have enough people paying the full price to keep the food stands and stuff in business. So it makes sense to open it up to anyone to look around and see it. And if something catches your eye, and then you just pay to do that.
Right. Yeah. I went during like a busy holiday weekend and there was no one in there. So I can see why they had limited operation on the
Yeah.
attraction. So hopefully this kind of smooths it all over.
Yeah, they do have a couple of pretty extreme indoor roller coasters. One that I believe was record-setting as the steepest drop in the world, at least when it opened. So yeah, if you're in the neighborhood and you want to collect some coaster credits, it'd definitely be a cheaper way to do that right now. So head on over to americandream.com/points-pass for more information about that. All right, that is going to wrap up our news in the queue, which means it is time for us to jump into the main attraction.
It's time for the main attraction.
And this week's main attraction, D23 Expo 2022, is sold out. Boo! But if, like me, you can't get a ticket, you can still be part of the Ultimate Disney Fan Event with an online stream happening from September 9th through the 11th.
Yes, this was big news. So many people were waiting to say, hey, will I be able to take part in this at home? And the good news is yes. So they are going to do, during the 3-day event, they are going to be having 8 hours of content that could be live streaming, including the coveted Disney Legends Award ceremony.
Yep. So the website you're going to want to bookmark is d23expo.com/live. And it's going to kick off at 10 a.m. Pacific time on September 9th with the big Disney Legends Awards ceremony. Looks like the stream will start at 10 a.m., but the ceremony itself will start at 10:30. And that will include a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, along with other celebrities being inducted by Bob Chapek.
Yes, this is exciting. And then also continue on that day, they're having a Disney and Marvel game showcase, Disney Legends in Conversation. There's going to be a mouse parade in the evening. So that sounds like it could be fun. So I'm happy that people can partake in it from home. And of course, each day, so then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there will be specific panels that will be live streamed, but not everything. So you have to look to see if, what you're interested in is on there.
Yes, September 10th kicks off at 10:30 with Talking Pets with the Vets of National Geographic. So if you're an animal lover, that might interest you. There's also a Bob's Burgers panel at noon, and Marvel Comics is going to be celebrating 60 years of Spider-Man at 2.
Yes, this is exciting. The Making of Disney 100, the exhibition, will be at 6:30. I'm sure that's going to be a popular one. And then, of course, on the final day, September 11th, they will be live streaming the Boundless Future Disney Parks panel. So this is where we can expect some, maybe, hopefully, great announcements.
Yes, that's the one to really mark your calendar for if you're a theme park fan. 10:30 a.m. on September 11th is the Parks and Resort Chairman Josh D'Amaro getting up on stage and hopefully telling us something about what's going to come to the Disney parks, the cruise lines, a little bit of behind the scenes from Imagineering. And I'm hoping that Josh will also tell me when my Amazon Alexa is going to be arriving in the mail. You promised me, Josh. I want my $2.
Yes.
I want my $2. Right, that's a deep cut for you Better Off Dead fans. I'm also going to be sticking around for the 1 o'clock, which is 70 years of Imagineering. Presenting stories from their storytelling and innovation over the decades.
Yeah, so this is great news for everyone that couldn't make it out there. I'm going to be there, so you can also follow along on Attraction Social. I'm sure we're going to be posting a ton, so you can get even more kind of behind the scenes look at everything that's going on.
I hope you will, live tweet some hot takes on what happens.
I definitely will be.
So like I said, the place to bookmark, d23expo.com/live, kicking off on September 9th. So plan on either staying home from work or open a browser or window in the corner and closing it really quick when your boss comes by. All right. I think that just about is going to wrap up this week's episode. I just want to thank everyone once again for joining us. And I want to remind you, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts and a rating on Spotify. If you want to find more coverage from us and from Attractions Magazine on the internet, you can find me at the UG Series on Twitter, at the Unofficial Guides on Instagram, and purchase copies of my books at theunofficialguides.com. Carly, where can everyone find you?
Yes, I am Carly Caramana on Twitter, and on Instagram, I'm Adventures by Carly.
And of course, you can always find the entire Attractions Magazine team at attractionsmagazine.com, on Twitter at Attractions Magazine on Instagram, youtube.com/attractionsmagazine, and for all you kids on TikTok, at Attractions. All right, that'll do it for now. But until next week, I hope that all of you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. And we will see you again next week.
See you next
Bye.
week.